No, never had this issue. Then again, I've never sprayed bleach on a printer before, and it's been getting sprayed since August 24th. And Miss Ramita's printer had her print head also go bad. Again, this is a rare thing. It just doesn't happen. And this morning, Miss love the water bottle. Miss Tran's computer had issues also. So it's looking like we're all having issues related to them being sprayed by the spray. And good news, the spray is effectively killing any kind of potential germs. That's good. It's just very bad on our technology. Ms. Tran suggested I send an email to the office and say, hey, y'all want to pay for my new printer? Because it's in my classroom, it definitely only gets paid for, it only gets used here. But I have no printer to use till the new one comes in a month or so, a month or two. I have to print everything from home and bring it up here. School in California? No, they came in. They gave it to the middle school. They gave all of them middle school. Okay, isn't that great?
Yes, I read.
They said the ones that the middle schoolers had used before, the ones that are coming in from the middle schoolers, so the used ones will come to the elementary students. So they'll come in slowly. So we will be getting computers, but it'll be like a trickle in kind of thing. They'll be used. So they'll be used. So we will be getting Chromebooks. They'll be used Chromebooks, but we will be getting them. Okay?
Why do they need new ones? They don't need new ones. They already have some.
They use that phone.
How about we get the new ones? We get the new ones? We should get the new ones if they already have some.
Yeah, it's not fair. And they don't come to school on Friday, so that's not fair.
It's true.
It's just.
All I know is what I've heard from other teachers. We have not had our professional development yet. We have our professional development Friday, and then we'll be educated about what's going on. Okay. All right. So we're on lesson 19. Everybody in here got their full 23 points yesterday, because my students in here normally do a pretty good job getting everything done. Okay. I can't say that for everybody in second and third block. You have a question, Allie? Okay. Anthony's back. Anthony's got to make up yesterday's work, so someone's gonna have to let him borrow his notebook later on during RTI. During RTI. Okay. So right now we're on page 67. 67. All right. Okay. So yesterday we found that canyons are indeed related to rivers, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else were they related to? Allie? Mountain ranges. Didn't expect that, did we? That was kind of a surprise, right?
Well, when we looked at the photos, there were mountains.
There were in two of the pictures, but in two of them you couldn't tell what that was in the background.
Yeah.
But then when we looked in the like Google Map kind of images, then it was real clear that where the mountains were was where you found canyons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't see canyons in every single mountain range, but where we saw the canyons, there were mountains in every single picture, right? Okay. Can you think of any other earth features? And when I say earth features, you got islands, you got volcanoes, lakes, big earth features. Can you think of any other earth features that are in patterns?
Layers.
What?
Layers.
Layers what?
Rocks.
Rocks are sometimes in layers?
So rock layers.
Okay. What else can you think of that's in patterns? Anybody ever been to an island?
Yes.
Okay. Are islands always by themselves, or do they come in groups?
Sometimes they come in
What are
groups.
they're in groups? Okay. So a lot of them are in groups, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at Alaska. It's got, I guess I need to duck down a little bit and move. It's got the Aleutian Islands. It's not one island, is it? It's a chain of them, right? Look at Hawaii. It's a chain of islands, right? Look at the Florida Keys. It's a chain of islands, right? Look off the coast of Louisiana. Barrier Islands. Is it one island or is it a bunch?
It's about a
Bunch. Look at these islands off the coast of Texas. Is it one or is it a bunch?
It's a bunch.
Okay, so islands are often in groups, right? So that's a pattern, is it not?
Mm-hmm.
Are mountains alone or are they in groups?
They're in groups.
That's why we call them mountain ranges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not a singular mountain. There's a bunch together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mariah. I need to do attendance this time because I do. Mariah's shirt. Mariah, put this in your backpack. Okay. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to do attendance real quick. I have made it here. So excuse me for just a moment so I can do attendance. Attendance. Blake, Cody. I'm sure they'll be here, but be very late. Did y'all just come from the cafeteria, Maya?
Mm-hmm.
Were Blake and or Cody there?
Likewise.
Blake was Cody? She wasn't there? Okay.
But he was on the bus.
Cody Smith?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Where's Cody?
Cody was in breakfast? Thanks for telling me late. Now I just marked her absent. Okay. She's officially marked absent. Okay. I'll have to sort that out. Okay, so we've established that islands tend to come in groups, mountains tend to come in groups. Anything else often come in groups?
Trees.
Trees, yeah. Yes. Anything else? What? Houses are built by man. How about natural features? Sorry, I have dog
Not
ears.
human.
What?
Not human.
Yeah, we're not talking about human features. We're talking about natural features. Things not made by humans.
Maybe bears.
Trees, because animals plant that by means. Think about what we talked about in social studies just last week.
How come in
In the Midwest, there are four,
natural gases?
no, they're not four natural gases. There are four big things in the Midwest, and there's a fifth one in the Northeast.
Oil? Maybe
The ocean.
Not the ocean.
Lakes.
Lakes, yes, the Great Lakes, y'all. Aren't lakes sometimes in groups? What are those lakes caused by?
glaciers?
Glaciers. That would be why those are in a group, because the glaciers came down and carved those out, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is it, Hunter?
Where's Michaela?
Okay, so around the world, there are patterns to be noticed in things other than canyons, and rivers, right? Okay, so we're going to look at a couple pictures. First of all, I'll probably have to do it twice. Really? Yep, it messed up. I was gonna say, for the first time, it's gonna let me do it the first try. But no, it stayed true to itself. But it's blurry. Go figure on that one. Okay. What do you notice about that photo?
It has layers.
It does have layers. So in your notebook on page 67, this is your first photograph. Write down what you notice in this photo in figure 1. Write down what you notice in this first photo. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. There's more to it than just layers.
There's a bunch of cats.
Mm-hmm. There's more to it than just layers. There's something else going on there.
What is it? Is that rock falling? Is that illusion?
It's not an illusion.
Erosion.
Get it? It's not an illusion.
Erosion?
It's not erosion.
Weathering?
Just write down what you see.
What are these layers?
It's more than just layers. Something happened.
Is that a rock falling? What's that thing like kind of pointing out? Is that a rock falling?
If that's what it looks like, write down. It looks like the rock is falling. Anthony, are you on page 67? Okay. Write down in that first box what you notice about the first photo. Give me at least 2 things, okay? All right, has everybody written down 2 things they notice about this? Everybody have 2 things? Okay, Anthony, do you have 2 things? Hunter, do you have 2 things? Come on, get 2 things down, because we got a lot more to go.
I think the second picture will be way easier.
Different.
Yeah. That looks like Mickey.
This image is actually what made me learn that my printer had gone out yesterday, because I was trying to make 6 copies of it, and my printer started flashing, and then it had this blue screen of death. I was like, what? And then I went to Miss Ramita's this morning, and she said, yeah, my print head's out. I said,
What
it's
about
not.
Daniels?
Daniel's is still working right now, but the print head has copper on the back of it, and copper is the easiest to, the metal that's easiest to corrode. It's still sticky? Wow, Sir Legend was messy. I cleaned it off. Can you go get another wipe? Clorox wipe. Clorox wipe up there. Clorox works better than the Lysol wipes, because those Lysol wipes aren't scrubby. No, that's Lysol. There you go. Some of my boys are just messy. All right, so your second image that you're looking at. You've seen before. That's your second image. What do you notice in that photo?
That one's really easy.
We've already talked about this one before. What do you notice in it? Don't tell me what you already know about it, because we've already talked about what that's a picture of. Tell me what you see. What do you see? Write at least 2 things about what you see. Okay. This one reminds me of that picture of Namibia yesterday.
Is that grass?
No,
Is that, what is that?
that's the one that reminds me of the picture of Namibia.
It really does.
Yes, that's a big hint.
Hey,
Namibia. Remember the part in the picture of Namibia that I pointed out?
maybe lava?
But what it's asking you to do is note what you see, and that's not grass.
What is that? That water?
Not water. There is water there, but we can't see it in the photo because that picture is taken so far back from a helicopter.
But you can
The
see,
angle, you can't see the water.
I just don't know what that green stuff is.
They added so much color to the picture that it kind of,
If you look over there on the white
it looks morphed. It's not true color. It's overdone on color.
So it's not the actual picture?
They overdid the color. It's kind of like over photoshopping a picture.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Don't Photoshop
That's
pictures.
that's over coloration. It's overdone with color.
It's too dark. I can't tell what it is.
Well, when you take a picture outside, you know how when you're out there, sometimes it's hard to see. It's too bright. So when they take landscape pictures, they'll put something on a lens called a polarizer, and it takes out some of the sun's rays so you can see the picture better. You can see the image in front of you better with more ease. They used a polarizer, and that's what makes it look darker, so you have more contrast.
Well,
But it also makes it look a little green.
Wait, so it's not actually green?
Not like that.
It's like that's a volcano.
It does. Logan just gave y'all the biggest hint ever.
What?
I just put a hint of lava.
What did he say?
He said it looks like there's a volcano.
Oh,
I just put a hint of lava.
Yes. Old lava flow.
I did that.
Yes. Like a massive lava flow. All over the place.
Wait, that's what that is?
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's all over.
I literally just went
That
back and
place
just
is
like
probably
checked.
ruined.
My guess would be it's from back here because this area is all very dark.
Mountain?
Volcano.
Oh.
It's possible it's dark because of clouds, but I don't know.
It's probably a volcano.
Lovely. It's very dark back there, and there's a lot more of the blackness back there than anywhere else.
Yeah, so that's probably, is that smoke?
I
Black stuff?
think that's lava
No, like over on this side.
here.
Side.
She's on my way.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
That's the walls of the cliffs.
But what's that black stuff right there?
Lava.
Oh.
Hardened lava. Okay. So what processes do you think may have caused the features in the two photographs?
Maybe a volcano.
Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to do this. Number 1, we'll come back to. We're on number 2. Number 2.
You want us to pick
Maybe,
number 1 and 2?
yes, maybe a volcano erupted. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Maybe a volcano erupted, and that's hardened lava. I miss being to have my nice cozy carpet in the front of the room. No, I used to have really nice carpet in the front for years and years. My first year not having a carpet up there.
Why?
COVID.
Weird.
Like I had really good, yeah, her carpet is one that I donated to her room. Carpet company donated carpet to me every year. And it was really good carpet, like plush, what do you call it? I'm forgetting the name of the carpet. It's
How does Miss
really
Daniels have a
expensive
carpet?
because I donated it to her. It was my extra.
It's real soft.
Yeah, no. It came from me.
Lava basically rock?
What is it?
Is that hardened lava basically rock?
It is. It's lava that's hardened over time.
What
Once
is
air
lava
touches it,
and
it
water
turns to
made?
rock.
What is lava and water made?
It's just rock. It hardens to rock. Yep. All right, so let's go back to our image 1. This. That was your picture 1, was it not?
It was. Wait, how do you have that?
Made 6 copies.
Ooh, can we have one?
No, that has to last me the whole day. Okay, so doesn't this look like rock? Right here, it looks like it's been folded, doesn't it? And right here, it looks like it's been broken, does it not? It looks like what? It looked like it was broken and it moved,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because right here, somebody last year said it looked like bacon. It looks like bacon, and then it slipped, right? Yeah, or like folded, right? Like the bacon piece slips or folded, and then it's down here. You know how bacon, when you're cooking it, it folds up, right? That's exactly what that looks like, does it not? Or like right here, it looks like it folded several times, doesn't it? Here, it looks like it folds a little bit here, and then it breaks and comes down here, and then it pinches right here and does that. So what is it? What do you think's going on with that rock?
It was folded.
Folded, or what? What else could happen to rock? Break? It could be broken, but what else can happen to rock? My voice is cracking. What else can happen to rock? Maybe, but we did this, right?
What's the hub? I don't.
Didn't we say that over time? It was what?
Getting crushed.
It's getting crushed. This right here. Didn't this get moved, and so some of it looks wavier than the other? Isn't that exactly what's going on there?
Yes.
It's just getting crushed in some areas and not in others.
I can see like a slanted line.
And you still have that.
It looks like I still have it. I don't have
This
that.
is slanted in some areas and not in others,
I
right?
still have mine.
Here it's straight. Here it's not.
It looks tasty. I put that.
Modeling clay is not so tasty,
I
but I bet Mila would love it.
bet you would.
Her favorite thing is this little light bulb we have at our house that goes with module, I think it's 2, because I have to buy more of them to make the module 2 work. I don't even know where to get the light bulbs now. Our next one, this is module 1. So we have it on the table so I can order more of them. And she always plays with the light bulb. I'm surprised she didn't swallow it yet. Okay, so this one, you guys think it's been smushed? The rock has been smushed? Do you think right here maybe it got cracked? Do you think maybe because the rock is so hard that maybe it cracked?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it? Someone said no. Tell me what you want me to write. The rock was crushed and maybe broke, or maybe cracked. Does that sound good? Okay. Trying to get the contrast to come up on it. There we go. Come on in, Leah. Have you had your temperature taken? Miss Gassett, by the way, I have your spirit shirt in my room. Ask your mom if she wants me to leave it in the office or how she wants to get your shirt, okay?
Okay.
All right, that talking needs to stop. Aaliyah, turn to page 67. You're going to need to copy this as fast as you can because we can't just sit here on this because you came in late, okay? All right, my friends. No,
No.
that was the launch. That was just launch. Yes, ma'am. She is right now in Miss Daniel's classroom. They had on here, what is it?
Do you still want me to do the science thing when I'm done?
Yes, but right now we're in the middle of doing our lesson. Okay, so look it in the book. It says, what processes do you think may have caused the features we see in the 2 photographs? I guess I wasn't supposed to tell you that was a volcano that erupted. It says a big accident happened and something spilled black stuff all over the Grand Canyon. Whoops, we already talked about what that big accident was. Darn. Bad teacher.
Well, I gave it away.
Well, you didn't actually give it away. Logan did.
Oh, okay, so here's our next step. So we talked about maybe something cracking rock. Can you think about anything that would cause rock to crack?
The pressure. The pressure of it coming down onto it.
Can you think of any process that would maybe cause rock to crack?
Maybe rocks being on top of it for a long time.
Yeah, like illusion or something?
Okay, well, we're gonna talk about a process today. Okay, I gotta zoom out. This is why I had to make copies. All right, so you see this crack?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
All right, that talking, I need to stop. So let's see if we can make this straight again.
You can make it straight again.
Can make it straighter. If I do that, I can get that line straight. I guess I gotta turn it side this way. I can get that part straight, but then that makes that part not straight.
So it's never gonna be straight.
Well, I can get it straighter.
Straighter.
That part lines up well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It looks straighter. So what could have caused this to become so out of line? What process? I'll give you a hint. It's not weathering and erosion.
Rock being heavy.
Heavier on one side and light on the other.
Well, doesn't this look like it was a sudden process that did this? Can you think of any sudden process that would cause something like
What
this?
does that mean?
Sudden, happening fast.
How is it?
What?
Maybe something falling?
Yeah, something like that. Looks like the other side that just pushed down.
I'm looking for a picture to show you guys.
What is that?
Pushed down and the other one.
What's that?
Huh?
Yesterday,
Maybe a mountain?
this is Alaska.
That's the eye of the storm.
A what?
These are the Aleutian Islands.
Yeah.
Yesterday, there was a 7.5 earthquake.
Earthquake.
Could an earthquake crack rock?
Yes.
So could an earthquake cause this?
Yes.
So you think a strong earthquake could cause rock to crack?
Yes.
So an earthquake could make the ground do this. You think so? Okay. So an earthquake is a natural process then. Do we agree on that? Okay. So we're going to today, and it's actually on the board, investigate earthquakes. I know there's a lot of writing on the board, but Mr. Williams wants on the board the standard, which is why 4 ESS 2.2 is up there, and 4 ESS 1.1 is up there. And over here, I have the phenomenon questions and the focus questions over there. And I also have the agenda on the board. It's ridiculously crowded, but it's what all is supposed to be up there.
That's a lot.
It is. It takes me 30 minutes to get all that done in the afternoons. That's why I get them done before I go home.
Of course it does.
Okay, so you see how the rock layers can move along that crack, right? The layers can move up and down on that crack. The reason I actually took this picture wasn't to go with this lesson on earthquakes. It was to show you that that earthquake can lead to a tsunami. This is how far the tsunami would have gone if it would have occurred in 3 hours, 6 hours, 9 hours. That's Mexico. 12 hours, that's Costa Rica. 15 hours, that's Peru. 18 hours.
Don't know.
Thankfully, there was not a tsunami, but one natural process being the earthquake, and it was a major earthquake. 7.5 is very strong. Earthquakes cause tsunamis. Not all the time, but sometimes.
Are we on activity guide B?
What is it?
Lesson 19 activity guide B.
We're getting towards it. All right, Ricardo, what is it? Trey.
What do tsunamis do? They just
Christmas Day, many years ago, killed 360,000 people in the South Pacific. What is it, Michaela?
You said that I was gonna add like in the 2011 tsunami in Japan.
Yes. Thankfully, that one isn't as bad as the Christmas Day one. Christmas Day one was terrible.
Is a tsunami like a flood?
Yes, it is. Okay, so we're going to look at a map. After I make that one get off the page, we're going to look at a map of earthquakes. And it's pretty interesting because you might recognize the map.
Why not?
These are all the epicenters. And let me show you what we mean by epicenter. So this was the epicenter of the earthquake yesterday, the Alaskan earthquake. And it was a major earthquake. A 7.5 is a very strong earthquake. This was the epicenter of the earthquake, meaning earthquakes happen underground. They have an epicenter and they go out from it in a circle. That's why it's called an epicenter. They go out for many miles. They can be felt many miles away. So these are all the epicenters of all the earthquakes in the world from 1963 to 1998. There were 358,000 of them. Yes. In a 35-year period. There's a lot of them, right? Most of them are small earthquakes and you really can't feel most of them. Please stop commenting. Please stop talking, okay? Do you notice that there's a pattern to them? Is there there's not a pattern?
There is.
Oh, actually, yes.
Are they in lines?
Yes.
Yes. They're not straight lines.
They're not. But they're in lines, right? And they seem to be heavily in certain groups, right?
Yeah.
Like heavily in certain groups.
Like islands.
I just showed you a major earthquake in Alaska in the Aleutian Islands right there.
That was yesterday?
Uh-huh. Is that an area where they get a lot of earthquakes?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I'll say yes.
A whole lot of them. Okay? This is Hawaii. Does Hawaii get a lot of earthquakes?
Yes.
Yes.
Why has tsunamis?
This is where the massive tsunami was that killed 360,000 people on Christmas Day quite a few years ago. That tsunami was so big that it went to here. It went to here. It went to here. It was huge.
So it traveled
It
around
went
the
to
world.
here. It went thousands of miles away.
It acted like Hurricane Katrina.
No, it went far bigger than
It's
Hurricane
way
Katrina.
worse. Our tsunami is way worse than Hurricane.
Hurricane Katrina killed about 1,000 people. This killed 360,000 people.
Has a
360 times worse than Hurricane Katrina.
Wait, has a tsunami killed 1,000,000 people?
Oh.
This one was apparently the worst one ever in history.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so this one went from here to here, here. It went around the world to Alaska. It was huge. It was a 9.4 earthquake or something that preceded it. One of the biggest ever recorded. It was huge. And it was on Christmas Day.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I guess
A lot of people were there on vacation because it was a tropical location. So a lot of people were there on vacation. And they were there at resorts and were taken unawares. There's movies about it and such. Okay. So point is, we see these earthquakes, they do follow patterns, right? Very much patterns. We see some that look to be random, but most of them are in lines, correct? And lots of them are in really big fat lines because there's so many of them, right? Okay.
So they all happen in the same spot.
Are a lot of them, yeah, you said it right. A lot of them are in the same spot. So a lot of them are on one side of South America or on one side of North America, but not so many on the other side, correct? Do you notice that? A lot of them are on this side of South America. on that side of Central America, that side of North America, but not as many on the other side, right? Y'all notice that?
What's the timeline mean?
What are the what?
Like the snow, like that.
They've had earthquakes, but they're not as common. They don't have as many earthquakes there. Okay? Notice we have a lot of earthquakes here on this southern side of Alaska, correct? There's a lot of earthquakes on this side of Asia,
Like
a bunch. And then a bunch right here where I told you those mountains are too, right? Where the Himalayas are. They have lots and lots of earthquakes there. And then Europe, oh my goodness, Southern Europe has tons of earthquakes, don't they? Lots and lots of earthquakes. And then do you remember when we looked at that map yesterday where they had that light blue line in the ocean?
Yeah.
That's exactly where this line is, isn't it? Do you remember looking at that light blue line in the ocean where we were looking at the mountainous areas? Light blue line. Look, mountains, mountains, mountains.
The mountains are.
Earthquakes make mountains. I guess.
We're gonna make some claims in a little bit. But look, isn't this right where that light blue line is in the ocean?
Yeah.
Isn't this right where those big mountains are in the Himalayas? Isn't this where the Rocky Mountains are? Aren't these where all those mountains are in the West? And where the mountains are in South America? Okay. It's kind of crazy. This one said there's so many earthquakes in Europe, you can't really see it in Southern Europe. Europe just kind of goes away underneath all those earthquakes.
Has Louisiana ever had one?
Actually, look.
Yeah.
We haven't had a bunch.
We've had a few lately. It has to do with them drilling for oil. But in the 1800s, there was an earthquake so strong that it made the Mississippi River flow backwards. The Mississippi River has flowed backwards several times from earthquakes.
Sounds scary.
Okay, so turn to page, trying to find it.
69.
No, 63. Turn to page 63.
Get our crayons.
I need to talk and a stop. Page 63. And I need you to get a red colored pencil. Page 63 and a red colored pencil. Anthony, go ahead and get out green and yellow also, because you're going to need to get yesterday's work on there at the same time, okay? While everybody else is grabbing their red, go ahead and put yellow everywhere. I have yellow on mine. And go ahead and label yours with N, E, W, and S. I'm going to zoom out just enough that you can see all three directions, okay? You see them? Go ahead and get it labeled, okay? I need all the rest of my friends quiet, please.
Is that a rock collection? Yeah.
Oh, I have a gray one in green. All right, everybody have their red? All right, I need quiet, my friends. Quiet. All right, guys. So we're going to use this big map to add not the right one. Add all the earthquakes on our map. Yeah, indeed it is. Yes, it does. Yeah, it does mean yes. All right, talking ends. So we're going to put our red right on our map because I'm using a pen. Please stop talking. I'm doing mine in dots so you can still see some of the yellow underneath it. Otherwise, the yellow would just completely disappear. I know you guys don't know art well enough, but I'm doing pointillism, art by dots. Don't say can't. The only thing you can't do is what you don't try. Did you forget about my piece of art up there? That's 18 feet long. And this back here, my rocket. And those paintings over there. And my big globes over there that I made.
Every pizza is an art piece.
Yeah, I would say I am. I made those, yes. That's called pour acrylic. Acrylic pour. Yeah. Yes, but it also has glow glow powder in it.
Yeah.
Colby didn't get his talented art ability from his dad. No,
Is he a good artist?
he's in gifted art.
Oh. What about his dad?
No, Dad can't draw stick figures.
That's random.
Dad made F's in art. Yeah, Dad's not good at art. Sorry. Are y'all noticing that Alaska has a whole lot of earthquakes? It's like covered up in earthquakes. And whatever this is over here is completely covered up in earthquakes too. Did y'all notice this? It's like all covered in earthquakes. All right, class. Ixnay the talking A. Stop talking. Yes. Yes. I haven't got over there yet doing this.
Are you still doing that?
Yes. You guys can do it with lines because you have colored pencils. I'm using a pen, so.
This whole time.
You're using colored pencils. I have a pen. Where is Hawaii?
Yeah, what she told us.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, you need my this is hard.
Mickey.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Hunter and Anthony are wondering why we're screaming about Mickey Mouse. It's a call and a respond, boys. It means be quiet. More interesting than class. You shouldn't make squirrels fall out of trees or deer fall over. You know, for people who've been at squirrel camp for a few days.
What's that?
That would be a question for Logan. Yeah, that.
Is that what you meant?
That's where Logan and Trip have been. So are cows. They taste great too, though. All right, guys, let's get this done. If you notice, there's actually kind of lines in the water. Those light blue lines happen to be kind of where you need to draw. Look in your water. If you look in the water, you'll see light blue lines, and that's where you, that's what I've been doing. Class. Bless you.
not even perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. You can still tell that these are in lines and they're along the edges of the you can do them in lines, guys, but look, you can still tell these are in lines and it's on the side of the continent, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't tell a line.
Can't do enough. Okay, here goes a million dots.
You don't have to do that.
Nope.
I know. I pulled it.
Look, guys, look. You can see your lines right here.
Oh.
You see it where it's lighter?
I can't. There's nothing there.
Yes, there is.
Yes, there is.
Stop right under the United States.
I guess I see it now.
You get?
Apparently there's a whole bunch of earthquakes up here.
Apparently better art than us. Well, whenever it comes to squiggly lines.
I think you need
No, I wasn't laughing. I just had a cough.
I thought you were laughing.
Oh no, I would not do that.
You're being sarcastic.
Who, me? Never. I would never be sarcastic.
Doing the best. I'm doing my
Yes, I'm still going because there's lots of earthquakes. The earthquakes are still going. Lots,
I'm lazy.
maybe.
I don't need to make everything.
It looks like this whole Mediterranean Sea is covered in earthquakes.
I almost got another one of those sides here.
I'm just scribbling now. At this point.
I almost got enough for it.
Class.
What? Is that just lead to what I think it just led to?
What did we do?
Look.
Oh. Dang. Yeah, when it moves around.
Like this.
That's the whole world.
We're not quite done yet, but
Oh, darn it.
guys, which one would be better, writing an essay or doing this? Okay.
No. We're not writing no essays.
Not in here today. Not today.
Today?
Not today.
When?
Maybe.
No.
No, not tomorrow. Oh, I didn't say you don't have to do them, just not right now.
Essays are fun. Essays are so fun. You get to write about yourself.
No, not in my class.
Other classes?
I like writing.
Yeah, essays is not just like stories.
No, they're not. Things are not long. They're only 10
Class. That. You can. And you are.
This looks horrible. This is like a fashion disaster.
You should say mine.
We're not doing fashions. We're doing earthquakes around the world.
Mine looks like my face. Mine looks like Mine looks like a 2-year-old. My face looks like you got that looks like an arrow.
That is a good question. Who asked me that? Who is me? Joanna, very good question. You're getting a dojo for that question. Joanna asked, why is it covering so much yellow? That is an excellent question. I love that question. Joanna's getting a point for that question. Yes. That is an excellent question and an excellent observation. Guys, observe that a lot of your yellow is getting covered up by your red. Yes, that looks messy. But so did that, right?
Yeah, that's what we want.
It does. Okay, guys, what you notice is that a lot of your yellow got covered up by red. You'll also notice that they look like they're in lines. They are on the lines that the mountains are on. There's another set of lines that they're actually on.
Mountains have something to do with Earth.
They do. There's something that the mountains are on, and the earthquakes are there on them too, and the canyons are on them too. And we're going to get to it. I don't know that it'll be today, but it might not be tomorrow. We're getting to it soon, and I can't reveal it yet. But there's a reason you're having to add this on here. This map is one that we're going to keep adding layers to.
Layers.
What's the first layer we put on this map? Which represents what?
Mountains.
Mountains. And the red represents what?
Earthquake.
Earthquakes. So let's go ahead and put on a map key so we remember what everything is. Go ahead, put on red, mountains. Put on yellow for, whoop, I said that wrong. Red is for earthquakes. Yellow is for mountains, wasn't it? At least yours is in pencil, mine is in pen. Earthquakes. I messed mine up and I can't erase mine.
Okay, I just messed that up before.
Okay. So earthquakes and mountains. Earthquakes and mountains.
What about the green one?
We're not going to worry about the green because it's not a natural feature on there. It's just showing us where our city is. And north, south, east, and west. Okay.
Shouldn't we do what the green state does?
No, it's okay. All right, that was a very good question, Joanna.
I answered the question.
Nope, can't, because there's another question behind it that we're gonna have to. As a teacher, I'm not supposed to answer your questions. I'm supposed to encourage questions.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Do all my friends have the earthquakes marked on your map? Who is still marking them? Okay. Okay, right now we're still doing earthquakes. We need to add on volcanoes, so we need to get this done, guys. We have to work quicker. Hold on, I gotta look back on it. Are there a lot of earthquakes by Asia and Australia? Asia and Australia, there's a lot there, right?
Yeah.
There are so many in Europe. Europe kind of disappears, right?
I don't even see Europe.
And guys, look at where all the canyons are. Every single canyon is where there's earthquakes too, right?
So canyons have to deal with the earthquake.
Canyons have to do with earthquakes too. So now we know canyons have to do with rivers, mountains, and earthquakes. So until yesterday, we only knew about rivers, but now we know they have to do with mountains and earthquakes. Would not have seen that coming, would you?
Yeah.
Okay. So do we have a lot of earthquakes where we live in Shreveport?
Yeah.
Not really.
Not much though.
So here is something called, and I'm showing you the real rock because I have lots of rock collections. Part of the class they sent me to. This is called basalt. Okay. This is the kind of rock you saw in that second image. This is the rock that flows out of a volcano after an eruption or during an eruption. This is basalt. Okay, that's volcanic rock. No, well, that kit I have is because it's a really nice specimen kit. Basalt, B-A-S-A-L-T, basalt.
Can we look at it?
Yeah, I'll pass it around a little bit. Okay. So here is a big picture of basalt. All right, has everybody finished copying that? That's been polished. That's a polished rock, and it's also dyed to be that color. So here is a large photo of basalt. Okay. You can see individual grains in the rock. Okay. It's the same rock, same kind of rock, but that is the kind of rock you see in that photo.
It looks like you can pick it up. You can.
No, you can't. That's just a photo. I'm trying to hear Kayla. She raised her hand.
It looks like a broken shape.
Kind of does. So it's been scratched a little bit on the corner. Picture showing one that's a little bit roughened up, just like mine. Okay. Right there. Just because I'm white. Okay, they added a little extra drop shadow. Okay. But this is the kind of rock that you see in that photo of Grand Canyon. That's what flows out from a lava eruption. Okay, that is lava that's hardened. Whoever's humming, stop. Okay. So that is lava when it hardens, when it cools off. Okay. So is a volcano a natural feature or a natural process?
Natural feature.
Why? What's it like? What's a volcano like? What do you compare it to? A mountain, because you think of it like a mountain, right? But when it erupts, is that a process?
Yes.
So it can be like both, right? Because it's like a mountain, you can say it's like a feature, but it can erupt, which makes it like a process. Can we all agree on that?
Okay.
We could think of it being both. So how can we find a record of volcano locations around the world? How can we find a record of volcano locations around the world? Maybe. What else do we do? A map. Yeah, I already heard it. Yeah, it's right. So this was volcano. Okay. I'm sorry, I said volcano. That was earthquake. Okay. Yep. That. Look at what that one says. Volcano. But look at that map. It's not the same as that map.
Yeah, ours would.
This one, United States is in the middle. This one, United States is on the side. It's just where they cut it off. It's just how they centered it. So we got to use a different color. We've already used yellow and red, and they used red. We already used green. So how about we use, not orange, how about we use blue, like a light blue. Sky blue, yes. Okay, class. Quiet. Remember, if you borrow a pencil, put it back, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this on the side because this map is different than ours. And I'm going to put this on the map and you guys follow my lead, okay? Yeah, it kind of will. It does because it's on top of the red and on top of the yellow. It's there. Right here. Not all the red. It is on the edge, right here. And then there's a few right in here. You're noticing a very good pattern, sir. That's a very good question, Logan. You're getting a point for participating. Very good observation, sir. They're all linked. Okay, so look, there's some volcanoes right in here. There's a couple in the interior of Alaska, inside, like the inside of it. Then there's some out here in Hawaii. The actual Hawaiian islands are volcanoes. Okay, so there's Hawaii. All right, now out here in the Caribbean, there's a few out here. So there's some dots out here in the Caribbean. It's not coming very well. So I'm going to zoom in and we're going to do these a little bit slower. See, they're in here. And then there's a couple here in South America. There's some down here in Central America. quite a few actually in Central America. There's some in these islands out here, right where those the red line is that we have there.
Or not.
Okay. And then there's several in South America, right here where the canyon is. And then a bunch down here. Speckle this whole area. Okay. So there's several right around the canyons, and then a bunch down here in the south. What's that? Then down here, all of that red line again, there's several down here. And then there's one here. And then over here, there's several. And then on this line, where that thing is, there's several. Right here. Yes. And then over here, I'm just going to color it over here because there's several in this area. Well, it's several in this area.
Not like cover it, but just fine.
Several there.
Cover it, how you put it.
Okay, and there's several just scattered about in North Africa. Okay. And there's several on this line.
That's a lot.
And then there's some here. Yes. Good question. So this will be volcanoes.
Oh, do you want us to get a square and then put volcanoes?
Yes. Volcanoes.
And then what's the probably going to be tsunamis?
I don't think we're doing those. Then over here, there's a blob of volcanoes. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of volcanoes up there in North Europe. And then over here in Asia, there's a bunch of volcanoes. You see all these guys?
Yes, they're fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make the dark blue dark enough that you
Yes.
can see it. But it's not supposed to be dark.
So it's visible.
I'm not really making dots, I'm just like making like whatever you call them. Like dots.
Okay. So you end up with these lines.
There's one more than I have. I don't know.
Okay, everybody have all that.
Are we adding anything up there?
I don't know that we're adding on that map.
You say yes.
Okay, so now we see that where canyons are, you have mountains, you have rivers. What else do we have?
We have
Volcanoes and earthquakes. So obviously, there's something that links all these natural processes and features, right? Okay, so all those maps look similar, don't they? And they're all in patterns, aren't they? They all follow some kind of patterns. Kind of looks like a horseshoe when you look at it using this, doesn't it? If I did this. The reason they show you the US in the middle, this thing right here is called the ring of fire because it literally forms a ring, doesn't it? Okay. The volcanic eruptions is the one that is called the ring of fire. So turn back to page 65. Rivers, mountains. What can we add to this now? Volcanoes
And
earthquakes. We can't say necessarily that volcanoes and earthquakes cause canyons, but they certainly seem to be linked, don't they?
So we could say,
Something's linking them all together.
yeah. So are we going to make the boxes for it?
No, we're not going to do boxes for them right now. So we see there's a pattern. We see something is linking them. We just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. But we probably will know by tomorrow?
Maybe. We've seen that all the canyons that we've looked at so far have a river at the bottom. And I actually downloaded some pictures from my own Facebook account to bring you guys and show you. We went to Little River Canyon and took pictures. There's also some other pictures. Little River Canyon's in North Alabama. There's also some other pictures that I took that show clear what? What do you see there? Layers, yes, but what else do you see going on there?
I also see like trees.
Yeah, but what processes? What? Erosion and weathering.
Who is that?
That's Colby when he's little. Okay. Clear layering of rocks, right? What are those plants doing to the rocks?
Cracking them.
Cracking them, causing more weathering in it. What do you see at the bottom of that canyon?
Waterfall, like water.
That's water. It's a river. That's Little River Canyon. It's very green right there. That, the rock formation, it's been bent by wind and water. That's in North Alabama. That you can't see because the Elmo's distorting it, but it's really cool rock formations there. And my boys climbed on top of it because they're being like little monkeys. Okay, so again, the Elmo's distorting it, but that's a canyon behind us. It's in North Alabama. This has been years ago. Really stinks that you guys can't see it. So back there, that's the river. That's a little, it's called Little River Canyon, but it's actually really huge. So once again, the canyon has what at the bottom of it? A river, because we know all canyons have what? Rivers.
Or some type of water source.
Right. So that back there has river, and that right there has a white wall. So what do we know when you see white walls? Limestone. What did we learn about limestone? Limestone rocks was once covered by what? What kind of water? Not river. Ocean water. So that area was once covered by ocean. And I'm talking way up high was once covered by ocean. Where we were was probably 800 to 1,000 feet above sea level. We were pretty high. That's pretty amazing to think that that area was covered by ocean. Beautiful view.
You can't really see it with how the Elmo is making.
Yeah, I know. But that's ocean. Not ocean, that's river down there. And Colby was fearless. He was just climbing. He's like, let me go over. Yeah, no, buddy. In flip-flops, no less. That's goofy. Okay. The canyon right there, the canyon walls. Because I climbed right over too. And there's the river. That's the river right there. Because again, I climbed right over the fence. That's the river at the bottom. No, that's not nasty. That's gorgeous. Those are big boulders at the bottom. So the boulders have fallen off the canyon walls and gone to the bottom. So that's very clear erosion.
How many miles is it away from here?
That's about 14 hours from here.
What?
Yeah, it's a long drive.
No way.
Okay. There's another waterfall right at the canyon. Those white walls, and we see clear what right there? You've got, well, can't really see it here. It's layers. Okay. Fearless in flip-flops.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights. I wouldn't go.
That's where we went. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Leave your notebooks open. I will look at them during enrichment. I have to pull out 2 work samples, so line up quietly because I have to look for something. Guys, quiet. Did you hear the part about quiet? Let's do it. Why are you still talking? Quiet.
He's like a 5-year-old.
Little ones don't understand height and where they should be scared.
I mean, we just got home from vacation. 2 days later, people this is right.
We did a cross country trip, and that was our last stop. We were staying in a huge, I think that was a 3-story cabin, and it had an extra place for the kids, like a kids' playhouse was 2 stories. So we got that up there. Where do we go today? All right, let's go. Friends, quiet, quiet. Don't forget sanitize hands. I put fresh pickle juice in it. Please don't get it on my floor.
Bye.
share and